attempted to summons other web Gs from alternate
GD
timelines to aid
is
her
got to
every
switch
day.
off the top.
I just got my phone from there. I can get it. Oh, you can reach it.
Oh, when the secrets of the relationship, but we're going down.
Gina Carano is Gina Carano had an incredible training camp. Gina Carano took that fight very seriously. These are the words of the great John Wood, who, by the way, is a full disclosure. This was very helpful. This was great that Coach Wood came out and did this. Because that was the part that was missing. And by the way, like, I don't know if Gina
evil to price. You don't have to pay. You'll never feel cursed to face Boston fights.
It would be tough. And you need a lot of really perfect things to happen to get Gina, particularly in a headliner role. But that's what happened with the Ronda fight. Like, nobody thought 240-pound ex-fighter, 17 years removed, Gina Carano was going to get a headliner role that set records, paid millions of dollars. Nobody thought, but everything lined up just right.
Classy as fuck.
So it can be done as long as the ingredient that she cares is part of it. And that's why it was so helpful. Coach Wood came out and said she's got it. Now, I got to tell you, on a personal level,
I mean, you're still able to knock it, I suppose, but you should stop it.
There's a British term that got brought into this industry by Michael Bisping, and it was really gross when he said it, because that's what you do to a fish to clean. It's a really gross term. But it is supposed to mean in our industry that we care. Right? Ungutted footwork, share the octagon, run it back, tail of the tape. Like, we've got these terms. We've got these terms that come around. But Gina cares. This matters to her. She's devastated. Possibly on the brink of depression. This is great. This is great. Because when Gina got up and smiled and talked about how wonderful this was and how proud she was for this moment, how grateful, it does break the deal with the audience. Now, whether Gina's gutted or not, I'm just sharing her as a performer, and that's what she is. This is an actress. This is a performer. This is somebody on television in an entertainment role. She has got to play the part of somebody that gives a damn. And that is not how she came off on Saturday. And there's two sides to this, right? Like, while I'm telling you the miss by Gina, and why I'm telling you that it could end her career, it literally could end her career that she got up and smiled and hugged it out. Because now she's letting everyone know, I don't care. And if you don't care, then we can't care. It's not possible. Right? I don't care who my next opponent is. Then I can't care. So, if they're attempting to flip that, right, and I would understand, like, I would come from the school of thought of don't ever show the audience. Don't show them anything other than what you want to show them. And it doesn't have to be sincere.
No.
You're on camera, you're on TV, you're an entertainer. You can show them that you're sad, even if you're not. You can show them that you're happy, even if you're sad. You get to decide that. But then there's going to be a reaction. So if you decide to go with the angle of, I don't care, this doesn't matter to me, I'm a winner just for being here. If you decide to go with that angle, there is some benefits. Where people won't teach you. You never let them see you sweat. Like, there's a benefit to that. But there's another reaction, which is, you're never doing this again. We will never watch you again. We will never get invested in something you don't give a damn about. So it's a very helpful thing that Coach Wood put this out. And there's still pieces that are missing. Right? Like, this was very helpful. And the mere fact that we're over here talking about Gina, hey, listen, guys, this is another good sign. That, like, this isn't how the media cycle works. Somebody fights on Friday. Sunday's what's known as a travel day. That's where everybody flies back home. Monday's when the media cycle starts, largely because of Luke Thomas and Errol Hawaii. But by Wednesday of each week, you now move on to what's coming up next. And here we are at the end of the week, and we're still discussing Gina. That's a very good sign. And we can act that we're ignored or we're still talking about Gina. We're not talking about Ronda. There was a UFC over the weekend. We're not talking about it. We're still on Gina. That's a good sign.
So if we want to see a fight, that's
now
what it is.
Coach Wood has let us know that she's gutted. She actually gave a damn. Just the opposite as she showed us, but fair enough. Now what does she need? She needs to get back to the gym.
Yes.
And again,
Time
it's just a story, guys. We don't know if she didn't care just because she looked like she didn't. We don't know if she's done it just because her coach said she was.
That's harsh.
We don't know if she's back in the gym. It's a story. But the story has to be told this way. Right? If she truly cares, and this is a passion of hers, she would be back in the gym. I used to watch Randy Couture win world championships that would go 5 rounds, and he'd be battered and bruised. He would fly home on Sunday, and he would be in the gym on Monday. Gina had nothing happen to her Saturday. Her fight was lighter than a warm-up. Everybody on that card who warmed up worked harder in their warm-up than she did in her fight. So if she really cares and she's really good, then there's one more piece of this story, which is she needs to be in the gym. And then, once you set the table in this way, she cares, she's back, she's in shape, she's in balance, she's coming back. There, the fourth and final ingredient, which comes about a week from now, is you tell us the proposed opponent. She's gutted, she's in the gym, and it's next week, around Tuesday, you hit us with Holly Holm. That's how this game is played.
Shit, Holly Holmes versus Gina. Oh shit, yeah, okay.
How does that she got it? But if she was,
That's a fight.
she's trying to do it again. She's trying to fix it. Wanda was trying to do it. This was that for 5 years. She did, you know, that's what this entire fight was about. It's been told the story works. She has pieces. Final one. You gotta sit back and react. I don't know if anybody's gonna use the idea of Gina versus Hall. I just know that's the direction, that's the only possible direction. You gotta build it, you gotta set it out there, and then the community is gonna jump on it. They're either gonna like it or they're not, but it's still gonna be in play. Got a couple of steps. Going forward. If she really cares, she'll be back in the gym. Whether she is or not, on it out.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Join us now. We look at the wildest news stories and reviews you need to know, including Asuka's WWE future revealed, the real reason why Ludwig Kaiser went crazy, WWE 24/7 champion Kyle Busch passes away, a shock WWE return is about to happen, and then of an era for Triple H on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now into the intro and get straight into our Now first, we look at Asuka's WWE future revealed. In a leave of absence from WWE, not as close to her expected her to wrestle again. Asuka has now broken her silence when it comes to her WWE exit. This is what here, and this is what she had to say during her latest vlog. The truth is, it was a personal matter. I reached out to WWE and we talked it through. But let's be clear, as you all know from watching my matches, I can still go. I'm still at the top of my game. I've been with WWE for over 10 years now, almost like it was just a given. And because it became such a part of your daily routine, I think my presence there just became something everyone took for granted. But remember, nothing lasts forever. Everything has been in I'm going to confirm that she's not done with WWE, and there's a chance that she will pop up when fans least expected. However, fans need to cherish the appearances as entry. According to new resources, the entry offenders will speak to after he made a comment directed at Kaiser's girlfriend from his eyes. Raj Gibby was a first to break
Yeah, that's really, yeah, it's really good. But to be fair, I do like Milky.
Allegedly didn't say anything in the elevator. Once he got out, he allegedly said something that Kaiser effective. You need to show some respect before I pull ice on that bitch.
Wow.
He got out of the elevator, and then they had a little scuffle. The punches were apparently thrown. If this is the case, it'll be interesting to see if the punches are dropped.
I don't originally imagine ice cream. I like the opposite. I like it really healthy. But then ice cream.
To him still being allowed to travel for his WWE obligations.
Looks like I aged as well, doesn't it? You like the taste of coffee as well, don't you? You don't like it,
JBL even backed him, saying that he's 100% behind Kaiser. And I want to make clear, I'm not passenger.
You go for the bitch, you not to get a smack in the face. Call him ISIS, seems like they're trying to go through the legal procedures. That's going to get you a double smack in the face. Then you'll get a third smack in the face.
Yeah,
Make me embarrass myself.
unequivocally, I'm backing this guy. He's been he's a good guy. He's not a hothead to me.
But
Something
then
happened here, the guy I think deserved it. So I don't know what happened, but I'm 100% backing Kaiser.
It's a good thing that Kaiser is allowed to travel, as one of the biggest matches of his career is going to be happening on May 30th. And if he can travel, that match would have been in serious jeopardy. Next up, WWE 24/7 champion Kyle Busch passes away. Now, unfortunately, very sad news to report, as NASCAR legend and former WWE 24/7 champion Kyle Busch has passed away at the age of only 41.
Because he was
According to information, though, Busch had recently been hospitalized with a severe illness before news of his passing was confirmed by NASCAR, his family, and Richard Childress Racing. Obviously, Busch was well known for his remarkable achievements in NASCAR, including 2 NASCAR Cup Series championships, more than 200 victories across NASCAR's National Series. However, Busch was a massive pro wrestling fan, and even won the 24/7 championship during a guest appearance on WWE in 2019. Obviously, the title reign was short, but it was a memorable moment that connected NASCAR and wrestling fans together. We'd like to send our condolences to Kyle Busch's family, friends, and fans all around the world.
Can't beat him again in the ring.
Next up, an absent WWE star returning soon. And it seems like WWE is advertising Drew McIntyre for the upcoming episode of SmackDown, despite his recent absence from weekly programming following WrestleMania 42. The WWE is reportedly promoting McIntyre for the go-home edition of SmackDown leading into Clash in Italy's premium live on May 31st, suggesting that his return to television could happen very soon. Randy Orton is also being advertised for the same upcoming episodes. Just like McIntyre, Orton has not appeared on WWE television since WrestleMania 42 Night 1. Hopefully both stars can make their dramatic return to television on the go-home show. Next up, a WWE return is happening. All week there have been rumors that former Mr. Money in the Bank Baron Corbin could be making a dramatic return to WWE. Despite Corbin denying the rumors, it is unlikely that the return is actually occurring. As of course, wrestlers are going to downplay the situation. According to WrestleVotes Firefly Select, Corbin is a lone wolf within WWE, and the Lone Wolf is WWE bound. The Lone Wolf is poised to head back to WWE. Baron Corbin has been rumored for a WWE return. WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select spoke to sources that called him a locker room favorite, and speaking in a manner that they would like to see him return to WWE. Sources in WWE now believe he'll be headed back to the company. Fightful Select confirmed that Corbin has finished up with MLW. It's unknown what the plans WWE have.
There's another shit system. Oh, humanity is not lies.
WWE can for Corbin, or how he's going to be implemented off screen, so time will tell when it comes to Corbin's company. Corbin definitely has his run. Next up, WWE doing all that house show. In this one, WWE return house show. This was one that a series of without fans that have been pushing. Now we're more details related to the return of house show. WrestleMania 5 Fightful Select. This house shows happening this evening in the production as possible. WWE house shows are back. WWE announced some live event happening to the radio in the before. WrestleMania said that some of the live events will determine if it will be extensive in television based on what it said.
Yeah, they're doing these tighter contracts. And if they're doing to let people go, maybe that's why people just disappeared. It's like they're going to do more house shows, and just want to travel this and stuff like that. Which isn't right, isn't it? It's like, yes. Yeah. Right. So that's about history with that.
he's not there.
is still a
And
contract with AEW
he
through
puts
the
his
end of May
uniform
at
on,
least. Enzo Amore was at the
finds something
WWE
weird at one
PC on
point to get
Tuesday.
access, but then just got his uniform on, because he didn't really know it. And he's fully there, he's fully knows live in a kind of aerosol. He sprayed one kid in the face, he stabbed another kid in the neck, and then he went on to stab a second child as well.
Jesus
And
Christ.
multiple people apparently say it showed.
How old is it?
13.
Oh, no.
And then he got found in a mosque. Do you remember he got found
Yeah,
in a mosque?
I would say he's not.
That's not confirmed properly, but the rest
Yeah.
of it is confirmed. He did go in there, he sprayed one of
No,
the
no,
guys
no.
there,
What I mean is,
tapped one in the neck, and he's getting down to 2,000.
yeah, I wouldn't.
It's not a terrorist.
No, I don't reckon it is. No, that's 30. I don't reckon it's it. Like, he may become an uber terrorist suicide, but I'll be very surprised if he's got the. Like, if he's asking right now any passages from the Quran, you know, I understand they only can read, isn't it? Isn't it? The more they know about the Quran, the less likely they are to be a terrorist, isn't it? Because a terrorist is like the fundamentalist Christians are taught, and Mormons and Jehovah's are taught very select parts of it. They read the whole thing, but they're very focused on very select parts of it. Push that there, and like that's how you can normally tell it. They don't really know much about the Quran.
I was like, yeah, I'm just going to stay on social media. I'm 100% happy with how it turned out. He was like, honestly, we think you did amazing. Don't worry about it. Don't go on social media. The Triple H will then give Ruka reassurance, and then Paul did not care what people say.
The reason they say that is because that is, it's like, yes, it is in the Quran to be obscenely aggressive, but only in self-defense, if you know what I mean. And before you can declare any jihads, you have to fight. There's the greater jihad. It may not be called that, it may be called bigger, but there's the greater jihad. And there's every other jihad after that is the lesser jihad. So you can't do it until you've defeated, until you've completed your first jihad. And the first jihad is with yourself. So you can understand the Quran. And once you complete that jihad, it should mean like a priest or a bishop, maybe a bit fiery, but you won't be murdering people. Because yes, you'll get bishops and priests that are a bit like, ooh, but then they don't kill people towards them for good in them, aren't they? So like, when every jihad will never involve any kind of violence. The greater jihad, or whatever they call it, it's the big jihad, which is yourself. And you cannot have any other jihad that is relevant until you've completed that. So that's why a lot of them have very small knowledge on the Quran, they talk very small passages, they feel like they have that knowledge. Basically, it's just like anyone who wants to basically find it, like most people. I'm not saying some of them don't have a great knowledge of it and really want to do it anyway. Like, yes, do it, baby. What I do is a lot of them are just ignorant fucks. Yeah, and the rest are just violent. Or what they call displays, they're violent. Yes, like your fundamental Christians or your racists, isn't it? It's black racists, white racists, green racists, your racists, little racist, small communities, and they get messages. And they find whatever they can to enhance life. They're always trying to reason violent, won't they? Yeah, I kicked that puppy, but it's because I was slapped as a child. Yeah, I'm not seeing the link, my bro. I'm not seeing the link. Oh, I always believe actually your. I don't know. I can understand needing to either A, repression, where they don't express it appropriately, which means they have bursts of anger, but they don't have an appropriate response because they haven't learned how to do it. Or they never hit anyone again because they know it's like it. It's like I say, when you put your hand on an oven, you don't go tell other people to put their hands on ovens. You don't go, oh yeah. You're like, how angry are you? They go, don't put your hand on that oven. You'll love it. You know how you feel. You know what it, you know. So, for you to do it to someone else, it's not like you've never experienced it. You're doubling the damage because you are fully aware. Fully aware of what it feels like. You're not even guessing at it, are you? I understand when they say, I shout at my wife because I saw my dad shout at his wife. I understand that. Because you may, yeah, if the woman then doesn't behave appropriately back, by making clear you shouldn't speak to her that way, like she should say something, don't fucking speak to her like that, or whatever. The child, if the woman's trying to keep the peace in front of the children, then yes, I can understand children then can learn behaviour patterns, because they just see everyone looking kind of happy, a bit of anger, happiness again. So I can understand
This is the way
that.
it's meant to be.
Yeah, but I cannot understand when they themselves have been the victim. Like a beaten woman, I can understand when they go, let's go and beat a man. Or a beaten husband, go, let's beat his wife. I can't see how that works. If like, if you've been mugged, you don't suddenly get the desire to go and mug people. Oh, because you know what? It's not that bad, babe. We're going to run off and do it again. It's like, no, you've already got it in you. You've now just got a reason. Or you perceive to be a reason. You're a jerk. That's it. Jerk. It's like, I think it shapes, not creates, it's shape how you express yourself. But it does create the urges. But it's hard to tell, isn't it, to be fair. Oh, Trick Williams, yeah! A little yeti. So fantastic. I love it.
It makes it kind of worse also in a way, doesn't it? Because at least if somebody is, like say, I don't know, hitting their wife or whatever, and say they actually hit theirs or anything,
Yeah.
then they might not really understand or appreciate the level of whatever it is they do.
Yeah. They know the damage in it, but they just think it's like punching them in the
Whereas
face.
if you've been hitting that kind of
And
environment,
you see what it
you've
does.
seen it, and then you do it.
Yeah, you see all the negative impacts you see, I think it's worse.
The reason that people do it is because they,
Well, this is the thing, no, isn't the thing. No, but isn't this... No, but isn't this the thing? They say that, but then that's when they also say people look you dead in the eye and say that 90% of domestic abuse is done by men to women, and it's not. It's pretty much 60-40. That's it. That's the truth. That's the reality. People don't like it. It's the same for sexual assault. It's sort of like 3 in every 10 women, 2 men in every 10 men. The difference is not what people think it is. So that makes no sense because in the earlier days, it was men beating women. But as women have gone out more to work and things like that, domestic abuse has gone up.
Yeah.
So,
it seems acceptable. It seems empowering that a woman will
Yeah.
fuck over a
We
man,
have to-
sleep
yeah.
with a younger man,
oh yeah,
beat up on a
it's just seeming different.
Like,
But
everyone's like, yay, look
no, I
what you're
think
good. Because it's that whole
I think about 20 years ago finding out why are they? Because in about 10 years' time, people will just be used to the stats. No one will think it, and then they can study it properly, innit? So there will be things I think like stress factors, like having to work, working in the household, and things like that, isn't it? Living 2 lives, isn't it? Because now in the olden days, both will work, and one will work on the home and one will work on the job to get the money, and then you'd have your time together, isn't it? Now with both parties working and things like that, and housework, like a time off, the partner might work on the weekends, wants work on the weekdays, all that stuff, isn't it? So yeah, well, okay, it's good and stuff. I've never system for it. It is interesting that woman abuse rate took, we don't know, did woman abuse go? It was just the fact people did report to the police wouldn't take it seriously. When we grew up, it used to be a joke. We used to use comedy skits that women would beat a man. Yeah, so that's what I mean. So we don't know, isn't it? Like, no, but now we kind of see, I think that's what I'm saying. I'll say, give it another decade, we'll see if there's any kind of like, or if it's just steady, that it's just natural, that you've got stats in both sexes, and they just visit on each other. Or if there is stress factors, like for example, it's domestic abuse lower. If there is stress factors, domestic abuse would be lower in social security families.
What the hell is wrong with you,
Because
Kathy?
men would working, so they
This
wouldn't
how you
face
pick him up?
the
This guy
same
is
things.
nursing a head wound and was sick yesterday. So much so that he
It's
had to
weird, well,
leave that awesome concert.
But it's getting, I think they're getting scared from women because it's kind of weird. It's like that with the whole thing to sanitize the internet. It was mental, that was based off the whole fact that there was more teenage girls accessing pornography.
So Kathy is like,
That's what
I'm
drove
going
it.
to cook breakfast for us.
It's like there's something changing,
Your
isn't
mom
it?
has food in the fridge,
In
right?
like women.
And then we get this
I see.
hilarious reaction.
It is the women's spirit. I don't like the kind of the madness here. The thing is though, think about, in your life, be honest with yourself, all of the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 1910s, I can show you heroes and all the rest of it that personified madness as what they still say madness is now. They're going out providing for your family, being a good person, being strong, blah, blah, blah. But the idea of women's changed over the years, hasn't it? It's like what you would hold up as a hero in the 90s would be not what you would hold up in the 1910s, or the 18th, 70s, or the 1700s. There's quite a better.
I hate the idea of it
But
resting
Britain,
on me while I'm unconscious.
it's the kind of thing because you've always had
It's like
strong
giving it
females,
free
so it's not
all
like
buffet.
in
So
America,
could it
the
be
past
that the
100 years, they
lizard
have strong
somehow
female role models
mutated and
because they've
grew
had
to
male
a massive
leadership.
size, and that's what
In
killed
Britain,
that
we
guy?
had an
No,
era,
this is
one of our
actually
queens, you know, it's all
totally
about
inconsequential.
monarchs, I love monarchs.
It's nothing to do with anything. But this guy says whatever made this footprint is walking on
There's
two
not
legs,
jerks.
much like a
Kelly Brown for our favourite
Tyrannosaurus
king,
Rex.
but all the famous
Oh,
being
this is getting
jerks. They're
exciting
really the
now.
famous
Look
being
at how
powerful.
close we're zooming
So
in
that's
here.
not really good
Meanwhile,
about us.
Kathy is taking
That's
photos
probably
of his
actually
kids
true in the
practicing
40s,
their
the
archery
40s or the
when Paul
50s.
starts telling her
She
that
was so
Johnny was a
popular that
champion in
then she
college.
created pink
And to prove it,
and
he's
believe
going to
this and the
stand there and
sailor
have Johnny
suit
shoot
and
this
the
corn
pink
he's holding. Because
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Let's do something stupid. Suddenly, Paul isn't feeling so good. And it's pretty clear what the problem
Yeah.
is.
And then that's
Too
stop it.
much
That is the way
fresh
to
air.
That's what I mean.
I know
So
it's
it's
like,
like,
okay, I
well,
think
last
that's it
time
anyway.
he didn't
Because
have
it used to be the
enough
other way
fresh
around.
air.
It
Well,
used to
have you
be
ever heard
the
of
blue
King
was for a
Fresh
girl,
Good
pink
thing?
was
It's
for a boy.
very clear
And then
that
I
air
think
is the problem here.
she dressed
And
over
not that
children.
head injury
As
that
a
was
boy.
Never really addressed.
She
So
dressed
Johnny is like, we
blue.
better get him home.
oh,
Not to a doctor, but home. So that he can lie in bed some more, because that's what he needs.
mental.
Blue was for boys.
You're not talking
So it's like,
It used to be that.
that's why in Britain,
Okay, so
when
that
you see
makes
the
me
way
feel
the
a
female
little better,
role model
because
is
at least
changing
this
the average
way,
woman,
if he dies,
yet the
there will
male
be
role
someone
model,
there
and
to
although
feel
the
stupid
archetype,
that
the
they
male
didn't take
archetype
him
what
to get
makes a
medical
successful
attention
man
for the past few
hasn't really
days. So now
changed
it's
since the
nighttime and the moon
1910s.
is out,
But
which makes
women's
Paul
have
get out of
changed
bed and open the
every couple
sliding
of
door in
decades.
the most dramatic
Now
way
suddenly it's
possible.
more like a
Careful, Paul, you don't want to
Death
get
Wears
too much
Prada,
fresh air now. Paul looks
rather
up
than a
into the
woman
night
holding
sky and
household
sees the
together
still frame
and
of
having
the
a part-time
moon.
job on the
Something
side,
that
isn't
would
it?
confuse
Now she's the same
anyone.
as a man.
Meanwhile,
Being
these campers
CEO.
are playing cards when suddenly
And that's what
something
I say, so I think
breaks
the
into
women's
their
sphere
tent
does more
and tears
damage
them
than the
all to
manosphere.
pieces.
The manosphere
And
just
this is
repeats
just
what
one
we
of the many
what was
reasons
her.
why I
The
hate
femisphere
camping.
adds a thing is because
Not having
apparently
an actual bathroom and
they encourage
just
eating disorders
feeling
to about you have to be
kind
certain
of
stuff.
gross all the time after that first day. I mean, has this ever happened
like
to
men
me?
when they go
No,
to the gym,
but it could.
get muscle
I mean,
mass.
you don't know what's
Women
out there
can't
in the
do that,
woods.
not
Why
men,
even
to be
risk it?
certain. And
That's the question for the
it's got
comment
back,
section.
it's Guardian.
Tell
They're
me
the
what
ones
you
complaining
like
about
and
it.
dislike
Look,
about
ignore it.
camping.
The other one complains, he
Suddenly,
goes,
Kathy
"Where's the
finds him
Guardian?
lying
Come
on
on,
a chair
ladies, we got to slow this
outside. And
down."
I'm sorry,
It's just
Kathy,
like,
wasn't it
it's
your
what saying is
job
they're the
to
only
look
true
after him?
independent paper in the
But he
country and
walked
stuff.
right
Well,
past
good,
you and you had
mainstream.
no idea.
Oh, yeah.
that you were
But
asleep.
they're not funded by
Why
people
were
like that.
you asleep?
They're
You
independent.
started
Like they don't have owners.
Independent bunch of
No,
creators.
so they don't have owners.
has
Oh, they don't.
a
No.
tendency to
My
do
understanding is
that.
they don't have owners.
At
They're
least for
like
me.
funded.
I'm lying
They're
on the
public,
couch
things
reading a
like that.
book
Never,
for like 5
I
minutes.
don't know how quite
Which is
true it
why
is.
if you're
But I know
trying
they're not
to
like
stay
most
awake,
papers where they have
you
all these
gotta do
owners and
other
things like that.
things, like drink coffee.
Oh no, the Guardian. I
or
know the Guardian on
think
leftists.
about
I'll see they're the ones who
things
Labour,
from
who
your
are the
past
one
that
who
you wish you could
apologise for being part of
change.
Pride when it's
So
right
that's
to do. It's
wait.
feeding in those
Also,
rooms.
there is some
The other one said, "I'm not
serious things
apologising."
going on out here. This sounds like it was recorded in a school
Then the
gym.
other woman did apologise, and they said that's nothing to do. There's nothing to apologise for. But no, the first one was about it. Feels
So the
rude by
police captain
apologising.
is
She
talking
didn't
about
realise
how
how
they
bad it
found
was.
the
She didn't realise
remains
the
of
point
those
what they were saying
campsites.
to her. Just
And
another
Johnny is
day
like, you mean
on
to
a shoot
tell me
paper.
of
The
playing
other woman,
cards
I
killed
know
those
what it
men?
was. I know what
And
it's
the
all
captain
about.
says,
Don't
no,
care.
one of them
And
said
now she's in
something
charge.
about a giant lizard.
I'm sure the second
Johnny
time
has
she'll
a
do
few
that, the numbers.
theories of what
Wow.
it could be. And the cop's like, oh my god, a dinosaur murdering people. You know how much paperwork that's
Yes.
going to be. I don't even
So
know if we have
apparently
forms
they're-
for that.
they're
Well,
fucking
this is
creepy
obviously
fucks.
a very serious situation.
Apparently the creepy
I guess it's a good
fucks
thing
were
that some
already logging
pictures can
asking
suddenly
him to
lighten the
repeal
mood.
that thing that says kids on the gender treatment. They're already on his fucking case.
Increased suicide. What are they talking about? That's not that's weird. That's like real. The suicides in NHS we're watching went way up. It's one of those, even though
Yes,
that's when you
and
do
I
need
bet
percentages,
you
because
can
even
see
though
the
it's only
pictures
7
that she's talking
kids
about.
over a year and a
Well,
half,
forget it.
before that it
Doesn't
was
matter.
one child over
I don't
6
think
years.
you've ever seen it.
6 years, one child committed suicide, and that is terrible. But then when you start listening to treatment path,
Holy crap,
in a year and a
really?
half,
I
only
was
6
convinced
kids
that he
killed
was
themselves. themselves. And that's the only ones they know about, because Tavistock and the other two clinics were hiding the causes of death. They would make it sound like anything. No, the kid was just like taking these drugs that mess with your brain chemistry. Shockingly enough, so they have issues. So you leave them alone. if they
And good
are
for him.
truly
The guy's
open within a
obviously
man's
in
body,
great shape.
that
But
is not going to change
I mean,
over the next X amount of
why
years.
does he have to take his
And
shirt
I'm
off
sorry,
for
but
X-rays of his
freezing
head?
puberty is not an answer.
I've never been
It's not
asked
it's
to
a
take my
natural
shirt off
when you've got
when
a
I'm at
body
the
age, not
dentist.
seven, unfortunately.
For
So
those
if you're such
X-rays.
that your
Then
mind
the
is not
doctor
your
shows
body,
Paul
your
his
body's
X-rays,
never
and
going
he's
to
like, I
you
never
have all the
normally
surgery
do
in the
this,
world,
but
it's
take a look.
never going to do
This
that.
is a
To
normal
start from a
head,
strong
and this
foundation
is
you
your
have,
head.
and move on. That's what
What
friends
happens?
used to be, where the acceptable
Well, I
self
mean,
of who
just
you were.
look at it. Your
Not
brain is incredibly small.
it's saying you're different, you have to
Just
change
kidding.
it.
That's actually something
It's like a
lodged
fraction.
inside of your
It's a weird
brain,
thing, man.
and the thing is,
I don't really want to go in there and
So like, I
take
don't
it
like what
out
you're doing about like
because
the will.
The bodies of these children as well as like also different adults are really like retarded.
Oh yeah.
They think like so take these drugs for a year, they all become like forever children, don't they? Like sort of
Yeah,
like kind of
it's
this one
freeze, so-
like children. Like a storm exploited, like they all look like schoolboys and female
Well,
equivalents.
it's also going to cause issues in the future because it's not fully developed.
It's like
Oh yeah, they like to keep it. Isn't it weird though? Say people tell you that like a 50-year-old man going out with a 30-year-old woman is pedophilic in its root. Well, they're looking for somebody in their teenage years, pre-teen years, for their ever sexual evolution, not being able to sexually satisfy themselves, only able to be sexual objects. That's completely healthy. They're very same.
see, the
Weird.
basic the only sex like it, the basic is a sex
Yeah. That's all it can be. Pleasure themselves.
An object.
Yeah.
As an object.
And that's it. And that's what's weird about it. So the people who are okay with that are basically, showing that they're not doing it for the normal reasons. So oh yeah. No. Why? So that's what I say. That
That horror that
it's because of what is it with no. Oh yeah. All of that just to go. If it's weird, that's all about aesthetic. That's what's weird. It's all about aesthetic. It's just a weird thing to me.
If they were just going to support these kids,
No drugs. Yeah. Oh yes, no, that's fine. No, there should be therapy available. Call it counselling, call it coaching, whatever you want to call it. Yes.
People stand there and go, but it's okay. I don't know. And when you hear people, like, maybe if you speak to them just in another capacity, you think that they're a nice, normal person. And there's so many times out there,
No, but isn't that-
I don't speak to anyone, but, you know, when you find out these nice, normal people still do
No,
that.
isn't that the problem? No. Isn't that the problem? Just like, for example, on political left and right, they think that if you're on the left, that means you have to be the most accepting, generous you can in any situation. What? That terrorist wants to come over here? Yes, it should be allowed, so we should be given a chance. That kind of shit.
But
It's the same with them. It's like,
somehow
it
managed
just shows
to
there's
sneak
no
up behind
trueness to
them.
them. And
Now it looks
they
like
are
there's
the
only one
nastiest
person who can
shit
take
ever
care of
meet,
the
because
situation,
that is how the
Johnny
life was
Longbow.
allowed.
And you can probably
Convince
guess what's
those
going
people
to
who
happen.
stop
Johnny
X by
grabs his bow
by
and
getting
uses
rid of
an arrowhead made out of the meteorite.
Western society at the moment is
Actually
English.
very
Back then, it's Jewish
anticlimactic.
people
He
who
runs
also
up and
rich
shoots
and
Paul,
powerful and the rest
who
of it.
starts flashing,
That's
and
what they always present you one enemy. If they present you a enemy,
so yeah,
then you don't listen to them.
it's kind of depressing.
Because it's something known as all
This
the
guy just wanted to watch a
There
meteor
is no
shower,
one
and
problem.
Do you know
looks
who
like
has
that ended up
cancer at
happening.
the moment?
The worst
And
part
Tommy
is, I
Robinson
have
is
no
going to go into
idea
both
how they're going to
singles
tell his
university.
mom when she gets
And all
home.
these like bigwigs
I mean,
and
she
like,
missed out on
I think
a
it's like
lot.
an MP, I think it's
I
called
would
Anna
not
Lee
want to be the
Dodds,
person
one of
who
them.
has to
She's
break
come out saying
all
that,
of
like,
that.
should not be allowed.
No, but hang on. What is the thing? What's the thing?
Now,
He's
this
going.
really
Hang on,
is
you
Read
talk.
on the
public
comments,
domain,
there's
which
actually
means
quite a
you
lot of
can watch
support
it
from
for
both
free.
sides.
Because they know.
I
They keep telling you how
can't
thick Tommy
recommend
is
it.
and that he's
I
got nothing to
actually
say,
think
but now you're afraid
that
of going to one of the
poster
most
is the coolest
intelligent
thing
universities in
about
the
this
world.
But that's pretty much it
And
for
you
this
can
one.
create some
Thanks
content there.
for watching, guys. And I'll see you all
Yeah,
next time.
that's what they'll be there for, is the news of Islam, isn't it?
Oh,
Like,
there was
it's
an
off.
old lady from Washington State.
It's disgusting.
She liked to
Who's
have
getting
a lot
involved
of
in that kind
corn
of shit?
on her face.
It's because they're getting used to shutting down speech.
Wasn't there?
that she some Jew
Come
coming.
It's
You know the words?
No.
It's going to be going
I
on.
don't
No, no,
know
it's
why I
worse.
go in
Yes,
there.
No,
but
don't, what's worse?
That's
No, no,
wild.
what makes it worse? He's been invited.
I'm not really that.
It's like he's insisted. It's not like he's forced his way through some bylaw that he has to be. A university said to him, don't have a conversation. And the MPs say, no, that should be banned.
I just feel like if I'm getting
Let the university decide who's going on their campuses. So, what are you afraid of? They're going to realise that he's got a point, that he's not hateful, that he doesn't hate Islam, he has no issue with any of that. You know, he's literally just there, right, that's it. I've got to do the MPs that allow this to happen, the MPs that are still allowing it to happen. Because the MPs don't give a shit about who's doing it, because it's the way, like I said, keep focused on one aspect of it, isn't it, rather than totality. Still do, man.
There's such little boxes and things like my things lit up with. Because I get two, I get like 3 minutes to see through the tail. That comes on Scotsby, that's Tuesdays.
Let me tell you something.
Um,
We build social homes. We're building something bigger. We're building dreamers, doers, movers, shakers, rock stars, movie stars, everyday superstars, families, futures, communities,
but then I read it like on the TV as well because there's another person that writes
charter to build a
like the name of
neighborhood.
But you know what, you don't get everything on both of
Social
them.
homes,
Sometimes
your
you
lives.
Jim, as we move on here with the show, I have a couple different things, and they cover the same topic. Let me get to this. I have an article that was sent in from the Wrestling Observer newsletter website by Vincent Verhey. Mark Shapiro concedes WrestleMania in Las Vegas may have been a mistake.
Oh, almost spit. They're actually admitting one?
In this, this is quoting, this is the other link. I have the Yahoo Finance article. Here's a quote from Mark Shapiro in an interview he did shortly before WrestleMania, although just released now, about moving WrestleMania 42 to Las Vegas from the original announced location of New Orleans. Maybe it's a mistake I made, because Vegas was so huge last year and such a winner for our fans and the product, that I said to Nick Khan, we've got to go back to Vegas next year. We have to move New Orleans down the road, and we've got to come back to Vegas. Oh, absolutely no regrets on going back to Vegas, but the only reason you're hearing some of the, hey, it's not what it was last year, it's because we're not benefiting from the first mover experience. Boy, everything you hear from this guy makes you hate him, doesn't it?
For the first mover experience.
He's like Court Bauer on steroids, just buzzwords up the kazoo. Fuck.
Hey, how do you know what Court's got in his kazoo?
$20 million.
$20 million. Mr. Kazoo. Wait. Mark Shapiro, we talk about how smart the Hollywood agents are, and the big deal makers, and the corporate businessmen and all that stuff. They're very good at that field, but the one thing that they haven't done is they haven't run fucking entertainment shows at the basic level, and they don't understand. They think it's, and also it's because they don't have to worry about taking money to anything. So they don't necessarily identify, but they may be big deal makers and great agents for, getting the best monetary residuals and things of that nature, but there's some elements of grassroots promotion at any level that it's magnified many times, but it still holds true with wrestling or anything. Imagine if it was the Rolling Stones. How many times, when the Rolling Stones announced their tour, it would go a year and a half, right? But how many times did they come back to the same place in that year and a half? We talked about all the reasons why, that because Las Vegas, with the expense and the distance and the, all of the factors, it was going to be hard and not novel anymore. And It's not like the days when the territories came back every week or every month, but it was a much cheaper ticket and you were drawing a completely local audience. If you run a destination event like that and you take away the novelty of the destination for the people that travel and then price it out of a lot of more people's pocketbooks and then take into account that most of the people from other countries don't want to come see wrestling or goddamn tiddlywinks in this fucking country. And all the things that we went over. No, you don't go back and do the... did Vince ever repeat a WrestleMania City every 5 years?
In the early days, he did Trump Plaza twice because he got a site fee.
Well, and also number 4 and number 5 wasn't really WrestleMania.
Right, it was still, well, WrestleMania 3 was big, but it was still on the road to stadiums.
Yes, well, then it was still on the road to where he could get paid to be in a place, and it would more than make up for a fucking gate anywhere else. The economics have changed. But anyway, so it's nice to know that Mark Shapiro recognizes that maybe he shouldn't have done the greatest show ever twice in a 12-month period.
I got some more quotes from this. Yahoo Finance put up an article, and the podcast is The Power Players with Brian Sonsky. Here's Mark Shapiro, known in the industry as a relentless high-energy deal maker. Shapiro built his early reputation during a 12-year tenure at ESPN, where he rose to executive vice president of programming and production and drove massive brand growth. He subsequently expanded his executive portfolio with stints as the CEO of Six Flags and Dick Clark Productions, before joining Endeavor's IMG subsidiary in 2014, eventually rising to the president of Endeavor in 2018. So let's get to a few quotes here. On the business model of TKO Group, it's very much AI proof because you want to be in it. And of course, all the youth of today suffers from FOMO, fear of missing out. So they want to be able to show people that they were in it.
What?
That's exactly
what is happening? What is he saying? Are they saying, okay, we're going to let the fans all get in the ring now?
Well, basically, they understand that people want the clout of being able to say they were a part of something, so that gives them reason to jack up the ticket prices until people say, I can't afford this, which they haven't said yet. I'm getting ahead of business. You've got to jump in with both hands and both feet. You've got to be willing to get sweaty. You've got to be willing to put your blood and tears into it.
Jesus Christ, this sounds dirty.
There's no substitute for hard work. Yes, we have more mechanisms and devices and tools and resources to make our jobs more efficient, to get answers on the fly.
You got to show me.
I'm trying to give you my love. I'm getting away. Words are so easy to say.
NH Collection Hotels and Resorts. Unique hotels in exceptional destinations, extraordinary experiences around the world. Enjoy exclusive privileges by booking at nhcollection.com, a Minor Hotels brand.
Why? But at the end of the day, it's the fact and the theory that you just have to sell. You have to be all in. Let's stop there. Any thoughts on something like Steve Rosenthal from Power Town? Any thoughts on the salesman, Mark Shapiro?
Yeah, but he's very convinced and also all in. You know, Tony has that trademark. He might have to take that back. He's very energetic and excited, is Mark, is what my comment is.
On the future of WrestleMania following 2 years in Vegas, it's going to go back to its OG ways of a new spot every year. And in fact, in 2027, we're going far away from the U.S. We're going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania. So that's going to be a massive, massive show.
Yeah, I bet it is. Do you think they should be just full-throated screaming about this far out, like that they're really going to do it? And I don't see how they're going to do it, because this shit will never be over now that it's been started by this buffoon.
They are actually doing 3 shows this year in Saudi Arabia, and 3 other events in anticipation.
Who is going to go? Remember, it used to be, they said, well, it's all completely optional, and then they dropped that. They had said that a while, and nobody said they weren't going to go. But is everybody, there's not, you telling me there's not one of the son of a bitches that has any pull that's going to say, no, I'm 40 years old, I'm worth multiple millions of dollars, I have a family, fuck you, fuck your fucking orange friend, fuck this fucking war, I'm not going to Saudi Arabia.
Here's another quote on holding events in Saudi Arabia amid the Iran conflict. We're not like F1. We don't have a lot of events at this time right now that would be impacted because of what's going on over there. We have an event at the end of June, our next event. As you'd expect, we're going to monitor the situation. If we have to make a move or to have a schedule change, we will do the right thing by our audience and, more importantly, by global affairs.
What? What about for our own asses? What about so none of our fucking guys get shot?
Well, one more quote here.
Fucking bullshit, mealy mouth.
On having The Rock on the TKO board. He's everything and more. I mean, he really is. And he also gets back to you like that. Not just because he's on the board. That's who he is. I'm not sure he sleeps. He's an investor. He's an entrepreneur. He's an actor. He's one of the biggest stars in the history of WWE. He's an owner in the UFL. I mean, he's just a magnetic personality, and he's kind of what you see is what you get. He truly cares about his audience in a very real, personal, and meaningful way.
Good Lord, can he describe the scent of his aftershave?
And he'll tell you more about it when he gets back from In-N-Out Burger for the very first time later on tonight, to authentically try a hamburger from In-N-Out for the first time. Jim, this is why I think a lot of people are concerned about the future of WWE. It's not the idea that, Turner Broadcasting bought the company, which had its own problems, obviously. It's these guys, the way they're talking about WWE, the way they're treating WWE. Anytime you listen to what he's saying,
So she was like, she was.
is that nice? I mean, it does work. It's been
all
all
the 6
all
and
that money.
No.
Not every
Mark
night, but just
Shapiro.
like on, nights. A couple of times a week, at least once a week. And so when she was, this is after a meal, because I kind of fell out of touch with her, because Greeny put out the council number, and instead of getting one of those small phones down Bride Hill, all those big flats that's at Bride Hill, he got one of them, like, I think it was some 6th or 7th floor or something like that. So obviously him and Jodie moved out there, and I didn't see him for a bit, and then I saw Jodie, like, probably 2 years later, maybe even longer than that. And it's days before Facebook, I was on Facebook then. And she said to me, what happened was, she said she moved to the Greenie, said everything was fine, but obviously they're still partying with like pills and stuff. And she said that she's, because she was always like solid with Greenie, like they just always got on, they never argued or anything like that. She said one day she was sitting on the couch, she looked round, it's obviously some kind of, I don't know, psychosis or something like that. So she looked round, she said, and Greenie's head was turning on its body. On his body. She said that she was kind of like, it's obviously hallucinating. So she split up Greenie almost